folks. Today we are teaching you guys about who is in the story, what was in the story, where the story takes place, when the story happens, why the story happens, and how the story happens. Let's get We are teaching the people about the story. So, I will tell you a story, and I'm going to explain who is in the story. I'm going to explain who is in the story, what was in the story, where the story takes place, when the story happens, and why the story happens, and how the story happens. So let's get started. Okay. Lucy and Billy. Lucy wanted a bird for her birthday. The whole family went to the pet shop. "There must be 100 birds in a row," said Thomas, her little brother. Lucy looked at each bird carefully. Some of them drooled, some of them had collars, some were big, some were small. Finally, Lucy found the bird she wanted. It was a parakeet with straight green feathers and a curly yellow beak. Lucy decided that her bird's name would be Billy. Lucy told Dad, "Parakeets can learn to talk. I'm going to teach Billy to say his name." You'll have to try hard," said Dad. "It takes a bird a long time to learn to talk." Lucy cleaned Billy's cage. She made sure he had water. She weighed his bird seed. Every day she would say to her parakeet, "My name is Billy." Lucy's brother Thomas would also say, "My name is Billy." "Don't do that," Lucy said. "I'm teaching Billy to talk." Soon Billy learned to sit on Lucy's finger. Lucy would pat his floppy head and say to him over and over, "My name is Billy." "My name is Billy," Thomas said over and over. "Don't do that," Lucy told him. Sometimes Lucy let Billy out of his cage. "My name is Billy," she called as he flew by. "My name is Billy," called Thomas too. "Don't do that," Lucy told him. One day, Lucy was busy doing her homework. Thomas stood in the door and said, "Lucy, come quick. Billy just talked." Both children ran to Billy's cage. Lucy was so excited she could hardly talk herself. "Billy, talk to me," she said. Then she waited for Billy to talk. Billy looked at Lucy with his little black eyes. His beak hardly moved, but Lucy heard him talk. "Don't do that," Billy said. Lucy couldn't believe her ears. The end. So, let's look back in the book. Alright, so the characters in the book are Lucy's family, that are Mom, Dad, Lucy, Thomas, and Billy. So, the next thing is what was in the story. Well, there were a bunch of birds in the story, and Billy was in the story. They were at the bird shelter. There was a bunch of bird cages and bird food and bird seed and stuff like that. Now, where the story takes place. The story took place at Lucy's house and at the bird shelter. Now, we're going to see, let's see, when the story happens. Well, since it was in the book, the picture, it looked like it was a sunny day. I'm assuming it was daytime. Now, why the story happens? Well, the story happened to entertain you. how the story happens? Well, this little girl named Lucy wanted a pet bird. So she went to the bird shelter and she got a parakeet, also called a parrot, named Billy.
All right, to our seats, please.
And that's it. Goodbye. The lesson is over. See you next time.